Look, it was good to get over here to the Dome and get a practice in the Dome. Um, Landon Young went down at the end of practice there. Looks like it's an MCL sprain, but we'll obviously have to go through some evaluations to see exactly the significance of that. But that was the only injury of note today with practice. We did have three guys, Jimmy and Ram and Mike Thomas were all vet rest days, so that's where we're at.
Your message to the team after the little dust up?
That if we want to act like boxers, we'll start training like boxers and we'll get over on the side and run. So I think that cleared it up pretty easily.
Dennis, if those three guys had veteran rest days in your dome practice, last one, does that mean they're not going to play? Or
No.
They may still play.
They'll anybody that's healthy enough to play is going to play.
Well, you mentioned yesterday that you don't want to dial back anything with Trevor. What can we infer from how you view what happened today, if anything, in terms of his role in initiating that or not?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not the first fight that's ever happened in training camp, right? It's the first one we've had, but it's not the first one that ever happens. And, you hit on the same guy day in, day out, day in, day out. Eventually tempers kind of flare a little bit, and we had a little dust up, and we got it handled, and then we go back to practice.
Play another opponent.
Yeah, I think they're ready to see somebody else, and I'm ready to see them. I'm ready to see us go out against, obviously a tremendous opponent, and I have no idea what their plans are, but we'll put our guys out there and go compete, and I'm excited to see our guys. I know our guys have worked extremely hard, and we've had a good camp, and it's time to start playing some games.
I know we've talked about Marshawn Lattimore a few times during camp. With a practice like today, is he even playing at a different level than what you've seen from him in the past? Would that be accurate?
Well, it'd be hard to do. He's played at an elite level for us for a long time. But he's playing extremely well. It's probably the best that I've seen him play in a training camp environment for sure. Yeah, I think he's got a great mindset about him, and he's been outstanding.
How big of an asset is Blake Gillikin to this team? And had numbers points have checked out the second punt today?
Yeah, he had a good day today. We worked some going in punt, and I think he's punted the ball well. And look, we're going to get him out in some game situations and see how he does. I think, the big thing we've talked with Blake about is, at the critical moment of the game, in the fourth quarter, and we got to have it. We got to have a punt to flip the field. And that's probably the one area where I'd say, we need to see improvement with him.
Like from the workout with Jalen Smith, made you
Yeah, I thought he came in with the right mindset in terms of working out. He worked out pretty good for us, moved around really well. He's been a productive player in our league at an off-the-ball position, so we felt like he was somebody we'd like to bring into the mix, have him come in and compete, and see where we're at.
Will he be ready to play?
I wouldn't expect for him to play. I mean, he's, I don't think he's been here 24 hours yet, so we'll have him ready in an emergency situation if we need him, but I don't expect to play him in this game.
What's your view of how Alontae Taylor's been doing in the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think he's been playing well. I think the corner position overall has played really well. I think there's a lot of competition there. And there's a lot of guys that are battling for opportunities and snaps on game day, and it's been fun to watch. And look, we'll keep the evaluation process going, but I think we've got several guys there that I think can help us.
What did you want to see him focus on most this offseason? I know he talked about, reining in the aggressiveness sometimes and not over pursuing and things like that. How's he doing in that department?
Yeah, look, I think I would never say rein in the aggressiveness because, that's what we're all about. I think there's some times in tackling where, he's got to do a better job of wrapping up. There's some pursuit angles at times that he's got to improve on. I think the biggest thing, as with any young player, is you want to see that leap forward from year one to year two in terms of really understanding the game, understanding what we're doing defensively, understanding how offenses are trying to attack us. I think that's probably, the biggest area that he can improve on. And I think he's done a nice job of that so far.
Is there any update on Rashid Shaheed? And at some point, does it get concerning if he misses so many practices?
No, I'm not concerned at all. He's going through the rehab process. We're going to be smart with him, but I'm not concerned.
That'd be the case for all the guys who have missed multiple days.
Not really anybody that I'm overly concerned about, no.
You worked out how much Derek will play
Yeah,
Sunday?
yeah. I would not.
The fact that he isn't here, does that influence at all how much you would like to see him?
Yeah, I think you get into the game, you watch how the game's going, and then we'll make a decision. When I've seen enough, then we'll make a switch. So it's kind of where we're at.
And what was the situation you had at the end of practice today? Was that like end of game, you all needed to score like a touchdown?
Yeah, 2 minute. Offense has the ball in plus territory. They're down 7, and there's not a lot of time left. You only got one timeout, so that was the situation.
Dennis, you mentioned tackling earlier. I'm curious, do you all want to do any kind of live drills during camps? Or philosophy, what's your philosophy on that?
Yeah, I think we're going to get enough of that. And again, that's part of the reason why, I plan on playing the ones. Let them get out there and play the game, and have to tackle and do all those kinds of things. But if you've watched our practices, it's not live, but yet it's about as close to live as you can get. And there's guys that end up going down to the ground because that's the way the game's played.
In recent years, because of the cutbacks and the amount of time you all can have, any effect on tackling as a defensive coach in games because you're all not having to do much live?
Yeah, I don't think that's the factor. I think overall we've been a pretty good tackling team. I don't know that we tackled quite as well as I would have liked to last year. But look, we're working on it. We're addressing it, and we'll get a chance to see in these games how we do.
Am I misremembering, or would you have normally had the officials in before a first preseason game?
Well, typically we probably would have had the officials in, but with 2 joint practices, we got the officials for the joint practices. So, and we only get 2 times in a training camp.
Kiki Kuti, was he an injury or event?
Kiki will come out on the waiver wire today. We released him this morning to make the spot for Jalen Smith.
Thank you.